Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Hey, Falcons fans. Today, we have some explosive news that could have a major ripple effect throughout the NFC South and ultimately on the Falcons' own future. As the 2025 NFL offseason heats up, trade rumors are swirling, and one of the most talked about scenarios involves the Jacksonville Jaguars and a player who could soon be donning the red, black, and white of Atlanta. That's right, folks. We're talking about a potential trade involving Travon Walker, the Jaguars' former first overall pick from the 2022 NFL Draft, and the Falcons, who are hungry to improve their defense, especially their pass rush. This isn't just a rumor, it's a development that could redefine how Atlanta approaches the upcoming season and beyond. Now, let's set the stage. The Falcons have been working hard in recent seasons to rebuild and retool their roster, especially on the defensive line. After a tough 2024 campaign, where they finished with just 31 sacks, second worst in the entire NFL, they're looking for ways to turn things around. And when you talk about pass rushers, one name keeps coming up: Travon Walker. The guy was the first overall pick for Jacksonville, selected with sky-high expectations to be a game-changer on their defense. And in many ways, he has shown flashes of that potential. Over 3 seasons, Walker has accumulated 151 pressures and 25 sacks, along with 162 tackles. That's not bad at all, especially considering he's only 24 years old. Imagine what he could do in Atlanta's system, which is desperately in need of a disruptive force on the edge. But why would Jacksonville consider trading Walker? Well, that's where things get interesting. While Walker has been decent and has shown he can make an impact, he hasn't quite lived up to the first overall pick status, which is understandable given the high expectations that come with that selection. Jacksonville, being a team that's trying to compete and get back to the playoffs, needs more production from their top draft pick. They also have other options in their roster, like Joshua Hines-Allen, and they're looking to leverage draft capital this offseason to bolster their roster further. The Jaguars are in a mode of strategic rebuilding, and acquiring draft picks can help them target other areas of need, especially along their defensive front. Now, here's the key point: Atlanta's interest. The Falcons, under head coach Arthur Smith and defensive coordinator Dean Pease, are looking for a player like Walker to inject some much-needed talent into their pass rush. Their current defensive line has been good at stopping the run, but has struggled to generate consistent pressure on quarterbacks. If they manage to bring Walker in, it could be a game-changer. Think about the impact of adding a young, talented pass rusher who's still developing but shows the raw potential to become a dominant force. His hometown is Georgia, which adds a nice narrative touch. Imagine him returning home and becoming a cornerstone on the Falcons' defense. Let's put some numbers into perspective. Last season, the Falcons generated 131 pressures but only managed 31 sacks. That's a huge discrepancy, and it shows how much they need that extra push to turn pressures into sacks. Walker, with his ability to pressure the quarterback and disrupt plays, could be the missing piece. His skill set fits perfectly into what the Falcons need: a versatile edge defender who can rush the passer, set the edge against the run, and bring energy to the front seven. And at just 24, he's still young and has room to grow into an even more impactful player. The Falcons could see him as a future franchise cornerstone, someone who can anchor their pass rush for years to come. Of course, this trade isn't just about adding one player. It's part of a broader strategy for the Falcons to build a more balanced and aggressive defense. With the addition of Walker, they could free up other players to focus on their roles, improve their scheme, and really start to pressure opponents consistently. It's about creating a culture of relentless pursuit of the quarterback, something that Arthur Smith and Dean Pease want to instill in their team. Plus, it's a statement of intent, showing that the Falcons are serious about contending in 2025 and not just trying to rebuild. but to re-establish themselves as a playoff team and maybe even push for a deep postseason run. Now, let's talk about the potential implications for the NFC South. The division has been historically competitive, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all vying for supremacy. But the Falcons have been quietly building a team that can challenge all of them. If they land a player like Walker, it's not just about improving their defense. It's about shifting the division's power dynamic. Jacksonville might have made a smart move by drafting Walker high, but if they trade him away, it could be a sign that they're prioritizing draft capital and a strategic rebuild. Meanwhile, Atlanta could turn that opportunity into a major upgrade, positioning themselves as serious contenders for the upcoming season. And speaking of the upcoming season, expectations are high. Desmond Ridder, the Falcons' quarterback, has shown flashes of promise, and with improved protection and more weapons on offense, he could take a significant step forward. But to truly unlock his potential and give the Falcons a real shot at the playoffs, they need to tighten up their defense, especially the pass rush. Walker could be the key piece to unlock that puzzle. His presence would also motivate other defenders, creating more opportunities for linebackers and secondary players to make plays. Now, I want to highlight some of the possible trade details, though nothing is set in stone yet. The Jaguars might be looking for a mix of draft picks, perhaps a second or third-round selection, and maybe even a player or two to help them rebuild faster. The Falcons, on the other hand, would be looking to leverage their draft capital to secure Walker's services and possibly get a few other pieces to deepen their roster. This kind of move isn't just about acquiring a talented player, it's about making a strategic statement and setting the tone for the season ahead. And let's not forget about the human element. Travon Walker returning to Georgia and playing for Atlanta would be a fantastic storyline. He'd be coming home, potentially revitalized, motivated to prove himself on a bigger stage, and to make a real impact for his hometown team. That kind of narrative energizes the fanbase and creates a sense of pride and excitement that can elevate the entire franchise. So, what can we expect in the coming weeks? Well, the NFL offseason is always unpredictable, and trade rumors tend to heat up as teams try to position themselves for the draft and the upcoming season. The Falcons are clearly looking to make a splash, and bringing in a former first overall pick like Walker would be a bold statement. It could also open the door for other moves, whether it's signing free agents, making additional trades, or targeting specific draft prospects to fill remaining needs. In conclusion, Falcons fans, this potential move is one to keep a close eye on. The possibility of adding Travon Walker could represent a turning point for Atlanta's defense, giving them the edge they've been craving for the past couple of seasons. It's an exciting time, full of hope and anticipation, and I genuinely believe that if this trade happens, it could propel the Falcons into a new era of competitiveness. The NFC South is going to be one of the most intriguing divisions to watch next season, and Atlanta might just be the team that tips the scales with this bold move. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe adding Travon Walker could be the game changer the team needs to take that next step? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Falcons organization. I'll be back soon with even more updates on this story, plus all the latest news, rumors, and analysis that you need to stay ahead of the game. So stay tuned, keep the passion alive, and let's get ready for what promises to be an exciting offseason for the Atlanta Falcons. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep rooting for the Falcons, because the best is yet to come.